Good evening, everyone. How are you all? Welcome to Let's Talk. Can everybody hear me okay? How is everybody? Hope you're all well. Hi, Barbara. Welcome to the stream. Hi, Yanis. Can everybody hear me okay? Okay. Okay, hopefully this has sorted the audio out. Hi, Don. Yep. Okay, good. Okay, so after that technical hitch, okay, if you're lagging a little bit, this should be going out on 720. If you can just drop it down to 480. It should be a little bit better for you. Right. As some of you may or may not know, Let's Talk is a new idea. Today is episode 1. And today we're going to be talking about spirit realm. So what I'm just going to bring up on screen now is I'm just going to run through the agenda with you guys of how it's going to go this evening. So you just get a general idea. There we go. So just, what's to come. There is going to be a fun little bit for everybody to take part in as well. But you'll see where that comes in. So what I'm just going to do, I'm just going to bring up on screen now the agenda, and I'm just going to run through that with you. So we've got here the discussion points for this evening is what is the spirit realm? And I'll be bringing up from 2 different sources what they say. And the question is, where do we go and what are your thoughts? And then we're going to have a discussion about that, see where it goes. You guys from the chat are all included. So we'll be bringing your comments up as well, and discuss interesting points, as it is such an interesting topic to talk about. And then after that, the second section would be, what would you do as a spirit? So where would you go? Which time period? Who would you visit? I think that would be quite fun to see which places that I would go to, but more interesting that which places you guys will go to. And then at the end of that will be final thoughts. So what are your final thoughts on the subject, and what myself and the panel actually think of it? So, and that's what the run up for this evening is going to be. So I hope you all enjoy that. It's something new, something a little bit different. So I just come back. Hello. So I hope you enjoy that this evening. I did do something similar a few years ago, but I just wanted to do something similar, but delve in a little bit deeper. So I'm going to bring our first guest up on panel. Oh, I missed my backdrop there. There we go. Let's put my backdrop back on. That's better. So the first person we got up on panel with us this evening is Joanne. Lots of you know Joanne. She's very active in lots of chats. She's more of a supporter than uploading herself. And Joanne always likes a good talk. So Joanne, do you want to just tell everybody a little bit about you?
Well, I'm Joanne. I've been around everybody's chat, so everybody, I pop in here and there and everywhere. I've been interested in paranormal since I was a wee thing. You know, I was very young. Had a few experiences, but nothing as major as everybody else's, unfortunately. But yeah, I believe that the spirit, you know, we go on after this life, and I'm so thrilled to be here and sharing this with everybody. A lot of friends here as well, so it's nice to see everybody and to be a part of this tonight.
It's going to be good, I reckon, this evening.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yes.
And the second person, oh yes, one that, and Jackie Moffat said, and of course she's Scottish. And the second person coming up on panel, you all know this person. I don't think there's any introduction needed. We have Glenn from NMPI.
Hi guys. Hello.
Hello, my dear.
Hello, Jojo.
Hello.
So most of you know who Glenn is, but Glenn, if you want to tell everybody just a little bit about yourself.
I'm 6'1". I've got blonde spiky hair, and I like the paranormal. How's that?
I think you can do a little bit better than that.
Okay, I've been a long time investigator, 38 years doing investigations. I prefer old school methodology, and I think that's about all I can say. I think everybody knows me anyway.
I think they do, actually.
Yeah.
All right, I'm just going to see what we got on who we've got in chat this evening.
Hi Stephen.
Pardon?
Hi Tara. I was saying hi Stephen. Hi Tara. Hello Kirsty. Hope you're all doing well, and I also hope that the baby's doing well.
Yes.
Hi there, Gail B and Don and Chris and everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Go on, Tara. Take the floor.
No, it's all right. I think you've just done it, so I don't need to do it.
No, there's loads more. I was just saying personal hellos.
Oh, I know. Well, we've got Zach. I don't know if Bill's still here. I'm just going to run down as they come into the chat that I've seen them. Katie Holte's listening. Obviously Kirsty. We have Barbie. Gail B. Let's see who else. Chris Williams. Let me see. Stephen Dennis, Tara Bell, Jackie Moffat. We have TCTV, Tia. Let's see. Will B. Gail Wharton. I hope I've not Gail. Barbara, sorry, Barbara Wharton. Hope I've said your surname correctly. Cassie, Huntress of the Unknown. Pisces Sun, which is Yanis. We have Don, Ether Archives.
Yeah, he's from Paranormal Portal.
This is Pat, yeah, with Brent. Who else have we got? Run right down. Down. And we have Andy and Becky from Elemental Encounters. Good evening. And for those of you that are watching at home or are just listening, thank you for coming. Welcome. And for everybody that's watching this back later, Hello, I hope you're all well. And we have D90 that's just come in. Hi, D90. Hope you're well, hun. So there's got quite a lot of people in. We've got 23 watching this evening, which is really, really good. So what I'm just going to do is I am just going to bring up a couple of overlays and just read them out for you all, and then that will be the first subject of this evening's session. And yeah, we just take it from there. Oh, and I forgot Wes. Good evening, Wes.
Do you want to remind him of the live chat feature?
Oh yes, that would be, yes. For those of you that tend to forget, sometimes I do, make sure that you're on top chat, on live chat. So if you go to the top of the chat, you'll see a drop down box, and if it says top chat, if you press it, you can just turn on to live chat, because then you'll see everybody's comments. Thank you for reminding me of that.
No
So
problemo.
for those of you that's just come in, I'll just bring that up on screen again. Hi, gamer. So this discussion points for this evening is: what is the spirit realm? What it says from various sources. Where do we go? And what are your thoughts? The second section is: what would you do as a spirit? Where would you go? And various other things. And then the third and final section is final thoughts. Sorry, Wes. So for the first, that's all right, Joanne. So
Sorry, background.
for the so what we've got for the first section is: what is the spirit realm? What it says from various sources. Where do we go? And what are your thoughts? So before we get into the discussion, what I'm going to do is read out two sections from two sources that I found. I'll actually tell you where the sources come from. One of them, people may think is a bit controversial, but it's a good description from what they've written. And I think it's actually quite valid for this evening. So the first one that we have is, this is from Happy Science, and they say the spirit world is the real world and the true home of human souls. The spirit world is the answer to the question, where do we come from and where do we go after we die? And the second source, so excuse me, this is from the Latter-day Saints, but I thought this was quite interesting what they actually said. In Latter-day Saints theology, oh God, I can't talk. Theology, the term spirit world refers to the realm where the spirits of the dead await the resurrection. In LDS thought, this spirit world is divided into at least two conditions: paradise and spirit prison. Paradise includes the spirits of the just who had been faithful in the testimony of Jesus while they lived in mortality. Spirit prison is the condition of the spirits of the wicked, the ungodly, and the unrepentant, who had defiled themselves while in the flesh, the rebellious who rejected the testimonies and the warnings of the ancient prophets. The latter will continue to receive gospel teaching and be given the opportunity to repent. Through their disposition toward repentance will only change as they recognize and accept gospel truths and believe in Jesus Christ. So, oh, I need my other backdrop on. Excuse me. Hold on. So I know with some of that it's controversial. I know that with a lot of people they might not be religious, but they might be spiritual. And I thought they were just really two good sources to start off the discussion for this evening. Excuse me. I may have to just pop and get a drink very quickly. I did have one to start the stream, but I've already drunk it. So for obviously you guys on panel with me and for those in chat, what are your thoughts on the spirit realm? So I don't know which one of you guys from the panel wants to go first. Joanne, maybe you?
Yeah. My thoughts in the spirit realm is when we go, we meet someone that we've known in our lives, maybe a mother figure or father, sister, grandmother, and you may even, I think actually you may even meet your guardian angel, because I believe every time, every time there's a birth or there's a baby born, there's a guardian angel assigned to them to help them on their way through life. So I believe that when we go, they are there, and a family member or somebody that you know and love will be there to meet you and guide you through. But I think your spirit realm is what you want it to be. Maybe the things that you remember, they come back to you, and you. So my heaven might not be the same as everybody else's heaven. That's the way I see it. I don't believe it's all fluffy clouds and harps and things like that. I don't believe that for a minute, and I'll definitely not get a halo. But for the other statement that you read out, Zara, the latter days one, I can see where people can get that from. I do believe that there's a God or there's a spirit realm. I do believe there was a man called Jesus, but I don't believe that he has done everything that man has said he's done in the Bible. Because I feel that's a man-made. There's bits added in, and I don't think we're getting the true story of what Jesus did. I do believe he lived. I do believe he was around and he was there. But my interpretation of heaven and spirit is that we do go on and we go to the place that we want it to be.
Yeah, that's
okay?
really good.
Yeah.
That's really good thoughts. And what about you, Glenn?
I think Joanne's just taken most of what I was going to say and just made it all herself then.
So your thunder.
You've stolen my thunder? What's the point in a thunderstorm without thunder and lightning? Well, again, I think it's all down to everybody's own beliefs and what they believe in. Whether they're atheists, religious, whether they believe in a God, whatever. Joanne just basically just paraphrased everything that I was going to say. For one, I wouldn't be in the paranormal if I didn't believe like in an afterlife. So I think that's the basis of where most people start from when they want to believe in like life after death. Whether it's religion or what, especially in the paranormal, what their thoughts are, what spirit is, which obviously we'll come to that later. But I just can't add anything to what Joanne said. She just rolled it straight out there.
I think she did, actually.
My own personal thoughts is, I believe that spirit, if spirit does exist, is a consciousness. And I've always said that to many people. I believe that consciousness moves on. Even as humans, we are basically nothing without that consciousness that directs all our lives. We pull that consciousness in from everything around us. And I think that's what we take with us, when we pass away ourselves. But as for everything else, I think Joanne just basically nailed it.
I think she did. Well, it's as for me, to what I believe is very much the same of when it is our time to move on, that we are met with our loved ones, and that there is something out there. Don't know what it is. Various people have different ideas where when we die, like the when they come back, but that's something for another time. But I can't really add anything to what you've both really said for my own personal opinion, really. I
Well,
don't know.
I'm actually trying to not convert you, Zara, but what I'm actually trying to do with you is make you understand that there's something more.
Oh, I know that there's something more.
As in a creator.
I'm
not saying that God is a man standing there with a long white beard and a staff.
Mm.
The way I've been trying to convince you, that our entire existence, everything that we are as a race of human beings, it's not by accident, it's by design.
Mm.
It's too intricate for it to just be an accident.
Yeah, it is.
Can I just...
No, it's... Yeah, go on, Joanne.
I was just going to say
she put her hand up like she was... She put her hand up then like she was at school.
I was just going to add as well, the God, I mean, for all we know, the God could be female. We don't know.
Exactly.
And I still believe that man puts fear into folk by saying, God will be angry with you, and God's supposed to be a loving father to all humankind. So I don't think he would be punishing us severely the way that man has said that he would in the Bible. But that's just my personal view. He's supposed to be an old God. So yeah, and we are supposed to be his children, so he's supposed to love us. Yeah, he can maybe chastise us, I suppose, but I don't believe that there's, that we would get a deep punishment the way that man describes. Sorry, that's just my personal view. Yeah.
No, that's fine. That's fine. It's it's I'm not a religious person. I'm a spiritual person. So it's a good combination that we have here. And I'll do want to highlight a couple of comments in the chat, which I will do in a bit. Is that there is most certainly a higher power, whether it's Buddha, whether it's called God, whether it's called Allah. Regardless of what your religious beliefs are, there is something there, but what it is, I don't think we will know for sure 100% until it is our time to move on.
I don't think we're ever meant to know.
No, not in this life anyway.
No, I don't think it's ever, it's something that we're never really meant to know. It's like mankind pertains to have all the answers for everything, by working out equations, and this is so because we say it is, and we've got a mathematical formula for that, or whatever, but that's what my message has always been to you, Zara, that there's just something more that created everything as it is. It's too intricate to not be designed.
No, I think you're quite right. We're here for a reason. What that reason is, who knows? Maybe it's by personal choice, through reincarnation, which I will. There is actually a comment to do with that in the chat, which I'll bring up in a bit. I've lost my train of thought now. I do apologise.
It's not a great gamer with his sausages.
I know. It's terrible. Yeah, but I think sort of when it's our time for that spirit realm, I don't think that we could actually be mentally prepared for that. What is to come of us.
No, can I just Joanne, have you got something on in the background?
No.
Like a radio,
I
a
can-
television? What about you, Zara? Because I keep hearing voices.
No, no, I've got
Oh.
I've got the fan on the laptop going, but no, I've got nothing else on.
Oh, my ADHD son's downstairs. And he's
Oh,
very loud.
yeah, that's probably what it is then, Joanne.
I'll go down and quieten it down a bit, if that's okay.
No, that's fine. It's fine, Joanne. It's really in the distance. I just keep hearing faint voices every so often. It's not, honestly, it's not a problem.
No,
There's
it's
only
fine,
one of them,
Joanne.
though.
It's not a problem.
Okay. Now, if he comes running upstairs in all his glory,
Oh
that's
dear,
okay.
yes.
and
Well,
phone,
if I'm quick enough, if that happens, I'll just remove you quickly. So there's no problem of that happening.
bless him. I mean, he's just very thoughtless sometimes, and he just barges in and shouts, "Mom, Mom," and it can be
No,
wildly
that's
crazy in
fine.
here at times with him.
I
Yeah.
completely understand that, Joanne. So my sister's got a autistic, well, he's on the spectrum, child. So don't worry about it. It's completely fine.
Okay.
Completely fine. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to bring up a couple of comments that we've had in the chat that are actually quite interesting. So I'm going to go, there's a few there from Barbara, which I'm going to bring up on screen. So the first one that we've got, when it comes up, and she spoke, well, I'm Christian, so I believe in heaven and that my family members that have gone before me will greet me. I think everybody is more or less on agreement with that one. And then we've got also, this is from Barbara as well. I do also believe that some do go through reincarnation. I say that because I have memories that I talked to my mother about years back, and she said we have never been there or knew the people. And then cheeky shush. But through the years, I keep having the same dream and memories. Wait, hold on a minute, guys. Leave that alone. Oh, sorry about that. He's decided he doesn't like his litter tray where it is, so he just wants to chuck it around. But actually, we'll actually use that for a topic for another time, Barbara, with reincarnation, because it's something I'm interested in, and I think it's actually a really interesting topic to talk about. A few of the others, there's a comment from Margie here, Margie Yeoman. Since my husband has passed, I know for sure we are guided. Amen. And from Stephen Dennis, we have, I know my mother visits now and then, and my dad sometimes appears in my dream. And then we've got one from Andy. I don't know if it's a bit of a joke, but it is an interesting one. So it's possible I may end up as a fairy in fairy realm, as it's still part of a spirit realm, as my personal heaven, which I thought was quite interesting. Just where am I? There we go. And we got another one from Barbara. My mother and daddy come to me in my dreams often, and when I am having a bad week, I will find a white feather every time, and I have been keeping them. That's lovely, Barbara.
Yeah,
That's really
when I was talking to you the other day, can you remember, Zara, when I said there was a tiny white feather and it was hovering right in front of my face?
Yeah.
Can you remember? And I said it just literally sat there in midair. It didn't move in any direction.
Yep.
It was really strange.
Yep. Yeah, that's true.
Mind you, most things in my life are strange.
Oh, right. We've had a few more.
Hang on, can I just, yeah, Gamer. Not far from me is a place called Snake Wood. Those woods there's like Bluebell Woods, Three Ponds Woods. There's like a series of woods there. It's all part of the original Sherwood Forest. And just at the back of me, where I actually am now, there's actually another densely populated forest area, which is also part of Sherwood Forest. Sherwood Forest, as the main bulk, is nothing and nowhere as big as it ever used to be. It's with industrialization over the last 30 years in the particular area that I'm in, that forested area is just basically being decimated.
Mm.
Anyway, back on track, Zara.
Yes, back on track. Yeah, there's a comment there from Mags, which is actually another interesting one. There we go. I often wonder who has it harder, us who believe there is something, or an atheist who doesn't believe at all. I actually find that it's actually quite interesting, because that's another perspective that I find. You've got the spiritual people, the religious people, and then you've got the ones that don't believe in anything. What do they think? What happens after we passed? Is it just nothingness? That'll actually be quite interesting. So if there is any atheists in the chat, please do let us know what your thoughts are, if there is anything. Because I'd really like to see what your thoughts are on that.
Yeah, it's very strange, isn't it? You know, you're born into this world not actually remembering anything, and then
Yeah.
you can get to like a particular age, you know, as a young child, you know, around about the ages of like 5, 6, 7 years of age, maybe a little older, where you kind of like tend to remember things from like what people perceive to be a past life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so are they remembering things from a past life because, you know, they've chosen when they passed away in that previous life, they've chosen to come back, you know, as reincarnated, you know, but then it quickly disperses, you know, over like a period of like months to a year. It's almost as though, you know, the mechanism within the brain makes, you know, the child forget.
Well, there are stories around on that, but I think that's the reincarnation and what behind it and the stories of it all. I think that's really for
And
a separate live stream altogether, because it's such
yeah,
a diverse subject to talk about.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
it is an interesting one anyway.
I had an aunt that used to be like an atheist and never believed. I think when you die, you die. That's it. You go away and that's you finished. And I said, oh no, you know. And we used to have some good topics about it. But I said, oh no. I think your emotions and your love go somewhere. They don't just disappear. So, but yeah, that'll be a good topic.
I think if anybody actually really sat down and thought about it, I don't think anybody would want a situation where when you pass away, there's nothing.
Mm. Well, I'm just going to highlight a comment here from Mags. But Rob always says when he dies, it's light outs, then nothing. He says he's good with that. Well, here's a good question for you all. If there is nothing after we die, then what are we communicating with, or possibly communicating with? But that's another topic for another stream. But it's an interesting one.
Yeah.
See, there's so many side topics here. That can veer off from this subject. But it's so interesting. It really is. But those of you that are in chat, we've already heard from a few of you what your thoughts are. Has anybody else got their own thoughts on the spirit realm?
We'll accept yes, no, or it was aliens.
Yes. Okay. We've got one from Will B. He says, I don't believe that I know that there is something after death. I died. I saw my body on the bed. I was levitating, looking down at it.
Wow.
Oh, okay,
Now,
so
I've got a story on that as well. I will tell you about
so Will's had a near-death experience then.
a near-death experience. Yeah.
Right, okay. How long was you out for, Will? Just interested, that was all. How long was you clinically dead for? Or was you clinically dead?
Just waiting for the reply on there from Will.
Yeah, I think he was writing to Ira.
Well, while he's writing, I'll just put what Wes has said. Skeptics say that the belief in an afterworld is humanity's way of dealing with death, that we don't want to believe that there is nothing once we could die. I disagree. Yeah, it's a possibility. Mm.
Again, I think it's one of those things that we're never really ever meant to know.
True.
Yeah, we was actually not joking about it, but we was actually saying something about this the other day, Zara, where you know, if it was confirmed that there was an afterlife and it was proven, how many people would just think, I'm just going to jump off a cliff because anyway it's better than here?
Yeah. That's true.
You know, the entirety of like civilization would like just fold overnight. You know, because if there's a better place where people could go to, you know, we'd all want to go there, whether it's in spirit form. You know, people are just weigh up the options. Well, I've got nothing to live for here. Bye. I'm just going over there now. You know, so that would just end, you know, civilization as is. So if I personally believe if all the tests had been done by governments around the world as to an afterlife, in that those doing all that, because they've all done those experiments, you know, to see if like there's life after death. You know, we shouldn't really be naive to believe that, you know, they've not actually done that. They've done all that. They did it years ago, even before, you know, even the concept came to us of investigating the afterlife. You know, and if there was a, you know, an answer that said yes, there is an afterlife, it would just destroy everything we know as it is now.
That's true.
You know, so maybe, you know, as a whole, maybe like the entirety of civilization is never ever really meant to know.
True.
We can't have all the answers. It's, you know, it's that simple.
No, we can't have all the answers. And I think this is what's fascinating, because we don't know all the answers.
So Will said that he was pronounced clinically dead.
Yeah, and then it was as a child. That's actually quite interesting. It sort of so you don't have to tell us how old you are, Will, but you know, it's something so profound that you can actually still remember it to this day, being an adult, because sometimes things like that tend to sort of disappear into the background, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I get that.
I've got another couple of comments. Just going to put up. I've got another one from Mags, and she said, we wouldn't know any different if it was lights out and nothing. I think we may be varying into dimensional beings if we're talking to something and it's lights out and then nothing. It's a possibility. We must be, whether it'll be, I would say whether it's interdimensional, in another dimension. It could be that the hollow earth theory, which is a whole nother stream all in itself. We could be communicating, if that actually is in fact true, we could be communicating with the inhabitants somehow. That just opens up a whole different door of possibilities.
Yeah, what's that drug called? Is it DMT?
Yes.
It's like a very psychedelic, very powerful drug. You know,
Yes.
obviously, as we, I think it's actually been, I think it's actually fact that the pineal gland produces like a vast amount of DMT as we die, and that may be down to what people perceive to be like passing on, seeing the white tunnel, stuff like that.
Chris has made a very good point. I would never try DMT, but but some of the stuff that produces those hallucinogenic effects, I find actually really, really fascinating, the stories that they tell, whether that's a spiritual awakening or just mind playing tricks, and it is in fact an hallucination. It's actually really, really good. Really, well, not really, really good. Really, really interesting.
Yeah. Makes you wonder.
Yeah.
It does. It does.
Yeah.
Chris has put a good comment. After you, Joanne. Sorry.
Sorry, I was going to say, for all we know, we may, when we pass on, step from this earth to another earth, which is much nicer, brighter, more colourful, and everybody else that we've had in our life is still there.
Yeah, we're still here. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm laughing at Gamer. He wants some sympathy. He's in pain.
I'll get to that in a minute. Chris Freeland says, but I reckon people confuse deaths. There are many kinds: emotional death, spiritual death, physical death. Sure, there are many more. I do agree with that, Chris.
Yeah.
I do agree with that. There are different kinds of death that you can go through.
I think regardless of what we experience, if we experience after death, I would personally myself, I would only ever want to go through that feeling once of having to die. You know, as immortal as some people think they are, you know, in one sense, we're all as equals, because eventually every single one of us is going to pass away.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'd only ever want that thought once in a lifetime.
I think the scary thing for me is not to pass away, it's how I pass away. That's the scary thing for me, you know. But
I think
fear,
I think I would like to just go to sleep and that'll be it. I'm gone.
Yeah.
I
really do. Fingers crossed.
That dark void of nothingness, you know, even when you go to sleep at night, you know, and you can go through 6, 7, 8 hours of complete nothingness and never remember a single thing. You know, It's also the same with people that get anesthetized at the hospital for an operation. You know, they go through a period of like complete nothingness. You know, is that what death is? But how would you ever know? Because you would never actually be able to come out of it to remember actually having that feeling of nothingness.
That's true. I do agree with you there. I know with I'll just tell you guys the story of what happened to my mum. She was actually giving birth to my sister that lives here in Germany. She was pronounced dead for, I think, 2 to 3 minutes. And it's a classic story. She came out of her body. She could see all the doctors around her. She could see my sister over in the corner. And she said she went into this tunnel, came out in bright light. Classic story. She didn't say much about what happened there, but she said that she had a pull back. She was pulled back into her body. And when she actually woke up, she actually turned around and said to the doctor, "I heard you talking ABC." And he said, "Well, you couldn't have done, because you were actually clinically dead." And that's the story. That's the story from my mum with one of my sisters.
Fascinating.
Yep.
Yeah.
Really, really interesting.
Yeah.
There's one here from comment from Jackie. Excuse me. So many people who experience near death say they go to a place where they feel the most amazing feeling of love, greater than they have ever experienced. In fact, so great that they want to stay. That's what my mum said. My mum said practically exactly the same thing. And I think that when we do become spirit, I think we do have that feeling of love, but I think that's more of on a cosmic level, because we're putting back into the cosmos. We're putting back our cosmic energy is going back. So what love there is, if there is, that you could turn around and say that if it could be a possibility of feeling something like a universal love. I think that's probably maybe the people that have had near death or have been clinically proven dead. Maybe it's a touch of that cosmic love that they're actually feeling.
Yeah.
I don't know what you two think of it.
Yeah, I think, again, everything's open to interpretation of what people believe, isn't it, really? It's because we just don't know, that we it's just, guessing at what could be, and it's just so difficult to pin the topic, because we have no facts, we have no proof, so to speak, that we can, fall back on. So again, I think it comes down to like people's personal thoughts on just, the just dying, basically. We just don't know from that point on. Okay, near death experiences, where people come back, and then you've got people that go unconscious, in accidents and stuff, and that, and they're pronounced dead, and they come back. It's because somebody says something, their interpretation of it doesn't mean that it is so, or it is true.
Yeah.
We just have no answer, and it's just so difficult to to explain anything, because we haven't got those answers. We haven't got that proof.
True.
Yeah.
That is very, yeah, I'll agree with that. It's an interesting comment from Rich Spirit. I'll bring that one. And I know that Glenn actually will agree with this. I wholeheartedly agree with this, what he said. I believe everything that exists is energy, and that energy can't be completely destroyed. So consciousness itself is a form of energy. I do believe that very much.
Yeah, I believe that too.
See, I
Me
know.
too.
And funny enough, Glenn and I have actually spoken privately about this. Oh, I don't know how many times.
Well, I believe that if spirit is to be, it is a consciousness that connects us all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do too. We're all part. Well, we're all energy anyway.
Of course, yeah.
Our bodies are energy. It gives off its own energy signature. So I would believe if our body gives off some type of energy signature, then I would thought our consciousness, as it leaves our bodies, leaves the shell, it would also have its own energy. Yeah. I was trying not to confuse myself there. I just want to just slightly off topic with great gamer. I'm sorry to hear you're in pain, gamer. And I'd hope that the surgery did go well, and I hope the pain eases up for you soon. I just had to mention it. I know it's been a while back since that comment's been put there, but comment trying to read through everybody's comments, and it's takes a little bit of time. I'm afraid.
Didn't Gamer mention on was it Dave's stream that he was going in the same time as Lou Rock for the same operation? Is that right, Gamer?
I've got no idea. I don't know. I'm sure Gamer will let us know anyway. Will B's better comment up. You'll see I never did. I didn't see no white light. I wasn't in the presence of a throne room. I just saw my body on the bed table, whatever you want to say it is. I was levitating about my own body. And he's also Bert. And I was fully aware that I was out of my body. I knew I couldn't breathe, but I also knew that I didn't need to.
Wow.
And he remembers it like it was yesterday. So, and he also said it's I actually saw it, the comment come up, and he said the going back into your body is like being pulled with it like a vacuum, being it's sort of snatched back into your body again. That's actually interesting. I've not heard that one. It's like being a vacuum, I've heard of the being pulled back, but not as like a vacuum.
That's good to know, Barbara.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Thank you for letting us know about that, Barbara. And we got another comment from Chris here. I think the different deaths depend on what dimension the death is related to. We can even die in dreams, plus there is no such thing as a beginning and there is no end. I think what that means. Yeah, I think I think quite possibly where you've got the eternity symbol. It's like the figure 8, but on its side. And I think to a degree it is like a never ending process, whatever that process may be. Whether you're
you're going to be touching on reincarnation again, aren't you?
It still comes up. It still comes up.
Yeah.
So, but that's definitely we definitely have to do a completely separate stream on reincarnation, because it's a subject that fascinates me.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's a topic that a lot of people would like to discuss.
Most definitely. most definitely. It's like, I think you've got now we've touched on this a few times, Glenn. You've got like your firstborn consciousness, which is sort of, you're a brand new soul, brand new consciousness, so that there is nothing before that. And my own personal thing that I believe is you go through a process of levels. So it, again, the reincarnation thing, you have to go through certain processes to achieve these next levels until you get to this, let's just say the highest level, whatever that may be, whether that be sort of
Yeah, I think in to begin with, there's like 7 levels of ascension that you have to pass
like
through,
that, yeah.
and then you go to like higher. You become like a higher being because of the knowledge that you've gained over so many reincarnations.
I believe that, and it's like, again, the reincarnation. I think maybe there's, again, also for another stream. But we're supposed to learn lessons that we didn't learn in the previous life.
Yeah.
So just touching on that just very briefly. I think that reincarnation is most definitely something that is seems to be consistent so far today.
Yeah, keeps reincarnating.
Or is it just a belief that people want to believe that they are reincarnated? You know, again, there's just no proof. You know, it's just what we assume from past histories. You know, it's a difficult topic when you get to that final point, because again, we just don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. All we can do is speculate and hope and wish
and you know, one of the most said, you know, phrases within the paranormal is, we will never ever know until we die ourselves.
Exactly. We won't know the answer. That's true.
That's right, Don. Yeah, karmic law.
Yeah.
I was actually reading up on that today.
Oh, right, okay. Interesting. I will get to your comment.
It was all research for this stream.
Oh, there's so much that both of us have looked into for today. It's like,
Yeah, when do you start?
That's true. Margie, I will get to your comment because I actually find that really, really interesting. And it's something I personally believe in myself, but I will get to that. For those of you that have been coming into the stream as we've been talking, I'm trying to say hi to as many of you as possible, as it is such an intensive subject. So for those of you I haven't said hello to, and the ones that are just still watching, good evening. Welcome to the stream this evening. Excuse me, I might have to get a drink in a minute. Rich Spirit Richard has put an interesting comment. I look at death as a kind of waking up. I believe we are kind of asleep. I know that sounds funny. It doesn't sound funny at all, Richard. It's actually something to a degree that I believe in also. It's, you are having a type of awakening because you're being woken up to the cosmos, to the universe. That's what I believe anyway. I don't know what both your thoughts are. While you're just doing that, I'm going to get a drink, otherwise I'm going to completely lose my voice. So bear with me, but carry on, you two.
Okay, Joanne, I'll leave that one with you.
Oh, thank you. Well, I think that that's a great comment, and I think that, yeah, we can walk about this planet with blinkers on and we're not seeing the full picture. But then when you start getting like signs, you know, kind of more, wanting to learn more about the spirit, maybe getting numbers. Sometimes numbers come into things and people think, oh, there's 1111, or Chris has got that quite often as well. There's small signs, and at first you brush them aside, don't you? You think, nah, rubbish, or oh, that's just nonsense. But the more experiences you get, the more that you awaken, I think. Yeah, absolutely do. And I think that comment that Bill had made is absolutely spot on. I think that's great. Totally think he's right there. And I know what he means, and it's not funny or strange. I know what he's meaning. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, being born into a new life, the thing that I find in today's society, I think everybody born we're just indoctrinated from birth,
Yeah.
And not necessarily towards, being a free and open spirit, as in a free and open person. You're born, you live a life, you die. And the only thing that seems to be involved in that nowadays is you're born, you go to school, you leave school, you get a job, you retire, you have maybe a few years of, personal stuff that you catch up on because you've worked all your life, and then you just die. I think that is life as it is today. It's it should be more than that.
Mm-hmm.
Many years ago, different civilizations experience, much more in the way of spirituality, and a lot of that in today's world is just lost.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. And there's the problem is nowadays the younger folks, and not just the younger folks, people like us as well, we're all sitting here on our phones and computers, but the younger generation seem to have that all the time. So they're not noticing the beauty of things or things happening in their lives, and they don't have the communication the same as what we had when we were younger as well. Yeah, so they're not see, so they could be getting experiences, Glenn, but they're not seeing it because they're too busy on their phones.
Yeah,
And
that's what I was
yeah,
trying to say. Everybody's born into a life that's blinkered.
yeah,
You're either looking down, at something in the palm of your hand, or you're looking at a screen. Life passes by until you get to that point where you die, and you've not, in today's society, you've not lived a life to gain that knowledge of, what comes next. The older you get, well, should I say, there are many people, the older that they become, the more spiritual they become. You'll get people that have never been to a church in their life, but because they know that they're, nearing their, end years, so to speak, they want those answers.
mm-hmm.
So they'll attend a church.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very
Sometimes
it's very
the church doesn't
blinkered.
have the answers though as well.
It's what,
Sometimes
sorry?
sometimes the church doesn't have all the answers either, and depends on what kind of relationship you build with people there. I mean, I've had experience with church, and I'm not going to bring them up here, but there has been some experiences that I was actually shocked by people who called themselves Christians. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, I think that's like an entirely different.
Another topic.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
Anyway,
back anyway.
Madam in charge is back, so we'll let Zara take the
Yes.
floor.
Just trying to find that comment from Margie. So it was actually quite a good one, and it actually touches on like ITC and what a lot of us actually do.
Yeah.
Where was it?
I think we're all seeking answers, but we
are.
It's just beyond us. I personally think it's just beyond us. I don't think we're ever meant to know what those answers are.
True. Mm-hmm. Well, this is a good one. While I'm just trying to find Margie's comment, There's one here from Chris. Would astral traveling or astral projection be a temporary death then? Then you enter your body again, like when you're pulled back from the light. It's actually quite an interesting comment.
Mhm.
I suppose it could be seen. Could be seen as that, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah, whereas one, if you do an astral projection, that's a position that you put yourself in,
Yeah,
as to, you know, like a near-death experience, which is obviously out of your hands.
true.
Mm. True.
I just want to say a quick hello to Seamstress. Hi, Seamstress. And Brent from Paranormal Portal, and to Kerry Whisperfish. Go on, Joanne.
May I be excused?
Yeah, go for it.
Come back in 2 secs.
Yeah, no worries.
Thank Okay. I'll let
Okay, see you in a minute. Right, I can't find the message actually to bring it up on the screen, but I've actually got it in the pop-out chat. Margie said, in my opinion only, I have the deepest respect for the ones who have passed. Therefore, I do not believe in summoning loved ones for help if you have put yourself in wrong choices or places. I really do agree with that, Margie, where it's got a lot to do with ITC and with what we do. And I think we can actually touch on that a lot more on a topic, which I think we can do at a later date. What do you think, Glenn?
Yeah, definitely.
There was some more. I know Christine is still listening. She's having to pick up her child. God, I've missed so many. Let me see what we got here. My. I've missed so many comments.
Because you've been waffling.
I know. Oh, here we go. Okay, again, it's touching on reincarnation, which I think probably our next Let's Talk, I think we're going to have to do a continuation from this, but do it just purely on reincarnation, because where it's been touched on so much. Right, Kerry's but up here. Sometimes I think, do people get second chances in reincarnation? I just mean that in what I have missed, yeah, I know. I want to do so much, but life is short.
That may be one of the reasons why people are reincarnated. But it's just a shame that you cannot remember what you achieved in a previous life.
Yeah, which is what I already touched on. Lessons that we've not learned, or things that we've things that we've not learned, things that we've not achieved. I think maybe that's why we get reincarnated. But again, I think we're going to have to do that on the next Let's Talk, because where it is so in depth, and it does touch, even though it does touch on a lot of bases of this evening's, I think it has to be its own stream.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, okay. This is just touches ever so slightly on religion, but I think it's an interesting one, and it's something I've looked into as well. I'll just take Joanne off of mute. Welcome back, Joanne.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But Buddhism is the only religion that interested me, but it doesn't seem like a religion because it's based on looking inwards rather than relying on text. Now, just it's actually quite interesting what Buddhism actually talks on with to do with the spirit realm and the different levels of what's it called, atonement. and spiritual awakening. We've got another one about reincarnation and deja vu. Yeah, I think this all goes into reincarnation and and everything like that. Well, I think, okay, Gail, not a problem, hun. I think with regards to the actual first topic of what is the spirit realm, where do we go? What are your thoughts? I don't think we can actually touch on anything more to do with that than what we have done. I'm not too sure about what you guys think, or if there's any other thoughts from the chat.
No, I think it diversifies into other topics. The
Mm-hmm.
more you talk about the subject, you know, it kind of like you've got those branches out from it, as in reincarnation, which keeps coming up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like you say, that'll probably be a subject matter all to its own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very true. Well, I think, what have we got up here? Okay. Well, I think this is going to be a fun one for everyone. So I'm just going to bring up the next overlay. Okay. And the subject matter is, what would you do as a spirit? What are your thoughts? What would you do as a spirit? Where would you visit? Which period of time? And who would you visit? Now, this topic I actually find really interesting. I have spoken about this section in particular when I used to do live streams for another channel, and this in particular topic went down super. So I don't know which one of you wants to start on that.
Ladies first.
Joanne,
Thank
after
you so
you.
much. Okay. Well, when I become a spirit, first things first, I'm going to make sure I look good. And I'm the age that I want to be, because I think you can choose what you want to be, you know. So if I die elderly, I want to be in my 20s again. I want to travel the world, look in my family, but not acknowledge myself to them yet. Just want to check up, make sure they're all okay. And then I would like to go back to the time period of the very beginning, just to see if the Big Bang happened or not.
Is there any in particular places that you would visit, or an in particular time period that you would want to really see, maybe in this life, but may or may not actually get the opportunity to go and visit?
Okay, I would like to go back to the 1920s
Mm-hmm.
in Ireland, go to Ireland with my family, where we all came from. And I would actually, it sounds a bit bizarre, but if I go back to the 1920s, maybe 1925, and meet my grandmother as a small child, I'd love that, and find,
That's
talk
lovely.
with her. Yeah, and without actually giving away who I was, because I wouldn't want to frighten her, for my future.
Yeah.
But I love that. And then, because she always had tales to tell about her childhood and how they grew up and how they worked on the farm, and I would love to see that for myself. So I would go back to then. That's my place to be. Yeah.
That's really
Absolutely.
interesting. I like that.
Mm.
A little bit different to for me. There's some interesting stuff coming up in chat, actually. But for me, I would, as spirit, I would, there's actually a number of things that I would do. I would want to, first of all, see the universe as the concept of my belief, the concept of time, when if, say, for example, there is such a thing as the afterlife and the spirit, where there is no concept of time, I would want to see, is there life, other life out there in the universe?
That's interesting. Yeah.
That's one thing I would do. Another thing that I would do is not a particular time in itself, but different times. And that would be to, I'd love to go back to the Sumerian times, the Mesopotamian times, Egyptian times, and any lost cultures that because I love archaeology. I've had that since I was about 3 years old, and it's something that stayed with me. So a lot of these historical sites I would want to go back to. I would also want to find out if the Atlantis story is actually true. And as for who I would want to visit, I think I would want to see lost loved ones that I've lost in the last, say, 10-20 years. I would want to meet relatives that died before I was born. I don't know if I would want to meet anyone famous. I don't know about that. But I will most certainly like to give some people a few jumps here and there. But mind you, I think we all would want to do that somewhere down the line. Yeah, I think that's probably that I've got so many things that I would do, but that's just a few. So yeah, I think I'll be keeping myself busy at least for a couple of 100 years, maybe.
I think I'll meet up with you and I'll go on that journey too.
Yeah, go for it. I'll take you with me.
Yeah.
What about you, Glenn? What would you do? And
I can categorically state that I'm with Rick, Purple Hobbit. There's a lot of people that I would like to go back in Horn. As for damn sure.
I think we would all want to do that. So what about
well, we're at visit, and which period of time? I'd have to combine those two, because one, I'd want to go back and see if Christ was born, to see if the basis of like what we believe to be religion is true. And at the same time, as I come forward in time again, I just want to know if they really did land on the moon.
And
just key moments.
And to see if the Earth is really flat.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah. But I think who would have visit? I don't know really. I think I'd just pass. Again, I believe that, you know, when if we go to spirit, it's a consciousness, so you can basically relatively go where you want to. So I would just pass people on the way, you know, just pop in, say hi, you know, whatever. I think that's about it really for me. You know, if being a spirit can offer you those things on that list of what you can do, then I'd just spend eternity just, you know, I'd be like Q from Star Trek. I'll be, you know, I was going to say impotent then. It's not impotent, is it? What's the word? What's the name of the word?
You would want to be like Q.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. That's an intro. Yeah.
Just
Definitely.
go visit, see everything, you know, that I've ever thought of in my lifetime.
Yeah.
Just go back and cover all that.
Well, it'd be
And
like a spiritual bucket list.
yeah, and you know, and then eventually what I'd want to do is like just go forward in time if that was possible, which I don't think it would be even as like a consciousness.
Don't know. That would be an interesting one, actually.
Yeah, just to see if the human race made it.
But if, for example, there is no concept of time, then theoretically you would be able to do that.
Yeah, Don, it still comes out as omnipotent. It's just one of those words you can just basically screw up on. So I want to be impotent as a spirit.
Just say you want to be part of the Q continuum.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably better.
Omnipotent, that's it. Don, you've got it. Omnipotent, impotent, it's all the same thing.
Well, I'm gonna run. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna completely run through because there's some interesting comments here. So we got from Rick, aka Purple Hobbit. He said he would go everywhere, talk to everyone, and haunt a few people.
Yeah, I'm with Rick. I am.
Yeah, me too. Gail B would visit. This is a good one, actually. I would visit Florence Nightingale, Mother Teresa, and Lady Diana Spencer in their time and place of origin. That's good.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah. Prominent ladies of the bygone century. Yeah. Another one from Miggy, apart from scaring people, is I'd be a ghost private investigator and scare people into confessing crimes.
A nice one.
I like that. Kerry Whisperfish. I would like to go and look into my ancestors' lofts and look through all their photos in their time frame that photography was available. Ha ha. That's another one. That would be interesting, actually.
Yeah.
And we've got Barbara. I would want to visit the time of my mother's family and also my father's family back in England. We know there was a castle with our surname of Wharton, but the spelling was a bit different. Oh, that's interesting. That is interesting. Barbara, whereabouts are you now? Are you in the US? Oh, another one from Rick. This is actually quite funny. I would possess a Sasquatch and hang out to see how they see the world.
They're always hiding in bushes.
That says a lot, really. Bit like a peeping Tom.
A hairy peeping Tom. Where's Herman the Great when you need him?
That's true. And Herman would be lurking.
Keep those hands up, boy. We're watching you.
Yeah, we're watching. You might not be here, but you're most certainly thought of. Another one from Barbara. Then the time of Christ to witness it and see how it all began.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah. Tara wants to come on the journey with me, I think. And see Alexander the Great. Ramsay's the second as well. I'm sure she's put some other stuff. Stephen Dennis, at one point, I'd visit Stonehenge. Don, Ether Archives, aka also Paranormal Portal. I want to do a somewhere in time trip. That's another one.
Yeah, Stonehenge. I don't know if anybody knows this, but I think at the turn of the century they actually ripped it down.
They did. They replaced all the stones.
Yeah, they replaced. Well, they actually ripped it down, and no measurements were actually taken. So when they actually erected it again, it was only then that they fixed it to the solstice. And many people don't know this. They think that they've been there for thousands of years, and it's always been that way. No. And then in 1949, they actually ripped the stones down again, and then reconfigured them again. So even if those stones were erected in kind of like the same place because no measurements were taken again, those fixed positions of the stones with the stars are actually all fake.
And you can actually find it online.
Yeah, you can look it up on Google. It'll tell you all about it on there. Yeah, people think that it's been like that since there was ever built. No, they've been ripped down twice, and both times, they never took any measurements of to put them back in the exact positions where they were. And even if there was like 0.1 of a micron off, it'd basically screw up everything that was there originally anyway as to what they was facing.
Yeah. And even Don said they did, and you can see the erosion to the supporting internals.
Yeah, and do you actually know that some of those stones aren't actually the original stones because some of them was taken away and broken down for building walls on farms? And majority of those stones, over half of them, are actually made from concrete. They've been designed to look like old, standing stones. That's true. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, my bubble's been burst.
yeah, it's true. You can Google it. It's all online.
Yep.
I know that. Yep.
sorry to bust everybody's bubble. Sorry, Joanne. I'm really sorry.
Yeah.
Truth is truth. Truth is truth.
It is.
Yeah.
What we've got here, we got another one from Rick, and I do agree with him here. And you'll actually understand why in a bit. I think Atlantis was a civilization from when the world was a different place, and there is actually that the human race in some form has actually the human race has actually been completely destroyed and come back. I think it was about 10-12 times, according to a spirit box session that I did, I think maybe 2 years ago, because it was one of the questions that I asked.
You know what I think to that, don't you, Zara?
Yes, dear, I do. There's one from Kerry. I just want to see the faces of my Linny. What do you mean there, Kerry? I don't understand that one. One from Tara. I want to see if Jesus and Mary was married with children. That'd be an interesting one. Stephen Dennis, my parents and friends. Yeah. Oh, lineage, Kerry meant. Okay.
She was a virgin.
Was she? Really?
She was a virgin.
Oh, damn, all our bubbles have been burst again.
Just putting it out there.
I know. Yeah, with Kerry's comment is to see her lineage. is seeing how the genes got passed from generation to generation, because I often wonder how alike they are to myself. Stephen Dennis, the time of Christ, the 1920s or 30s.
Yeah, that's quite a popular one, isn't it? The time of Christ.
Mm-hmm.
See if what we believe to be religion is all true.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm going to give a love heart to Margie for one of the things that she's written. Big hearts there, Margie. In all honesty, I would love to be reunited with my husband and do
bless.
and learn all the things we have questions on with life's mysteries.
That's lovely.
That's
So
lovely.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Barbara is related to Davy Crockett, so she would want to go and visit him.
Davy Crockett, wasn't he the guy that was on the trains in the Western time?
I know the name. I know it's a famous name.
There's a song in there, Davy Crockett, or is that somebody else?
I've got no idea. Let's see. Oh, this is a good one from Miggy. Okay. Another one that would be to scare the crap out of people cheating, catch them in the act and talk about a mood spoiler.
Oh, she's a vicious woman.
Miggy, I'm quite worried about you. You've got sort of a little bit of a sadistic side to you that's coming out in the chat here with what you're saying.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Just a wee bit. Tara said she definitely want to see Buddha, Celt queen who gave Rome a run for their money. Which Celt queen was that? Cleopatra wasn't a Celt, but I know she gave them a run for their money. Gamer's going on about something about the Infinity Stones. I think he's been watching the Avengers.
Who's that?
Gamer.
Oh, Gamer. Ignore Gamer. He's in pain. He's incoherent. He's incoherent. He doesn't realise what he's saying right now.
But
he just
this is
had a
another
seafood fetish not long ago.
Well, yeah, I saw that. Atlantis is where the cod came from. Stephen Dennis, I'd also visit parts of New Zealand I've never seen. Oh, this is a good one. Okay, Rick, this is a good one. Why do you assume Atlantis was a human civilization? That is actually a good question. I don't know.
No.
It might have been it might have been a previous time before one of the times humanity was destroyed, and it was a story that was left over from not past civilization, but it's a past from a past time when humanity was around. I think is the best way I can explain it. But that's actually a really good question.
Yeah. My daughter was actually looking at things last night. You know how you go and Google and things, and it was what ifs, you know, and one of them had just come into my mind, and it was a what if humans lived on Mars and we destroyed that, and Adam and Eve were sent in a capsule to Earth to start there.
Yep.
And I thought, that's actually quite good. So I'm into all these what ifs now as well. Quite interesting, some of them. A lot of fun too.
Yeah, definitely. Well, there's so many different creation stories. It's unbelievable. Yeah. Okay, Davy Crockett is fought at the Alamo with Boone. He led the women and children to safety before the final battle.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So much wiser today.
Yeah. Another one from Stephen is Mary Antoinette.
Ooh.
Yeah, Joan of Arc, Eleanor Troy. There was all ball breakers, weren't there? Those women.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, we've got that is smack bang up to date with the chat. Smack bang up to date. Hi Lothar 900. How are you? Oh, that's a good comment. It is my belief that I have been here several times, just like Groundhog Day. More more like Groundhog Life.
Yeah, the daily grind is like Groundhog Day every day.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
I mean,
wow.
I've noticed these answers are saying they want to know about the Christ and the Virgin Mary and that. We all seem to want to go back to find out where did we come from. That's basically what we're all looking for, isn't it? Where did we come from?
Yep.
Because we're all asking for we're all going to do the same things.
Yeah. Good evening, Ghostwatch UK. Hope you're well. Yeah, another one from Stephen, King Henry VIII. I think there's just so. I think it just really depends on for a lot of people what their interests are, places that they might have been to or would like to go to. I think the possibilities are actually endless when you really think about it. Sort of like with you, the beginning of time.
I think a lot of us are now starting to think if we was human, but we're actually talking if we were spirit.
Yeah. Yep. Most definitely.
I'm just going to put you on pause. Carry on.
Yeah, no worries. But it is such this section, I find it so interesting because where, like I was just saying, the possibilities are endless. And it's like I think everybody or almost everybody has turned around and said, I'd like to go and haunt someone. I know I would.
Yeah.
I know I would. It's yeah, obviously those people wouldn't actually be around, but it would be nice to, if there is no concept of time, to actually go back to that time when they would be alive and actually do that to them. And this also actually adds on to with regards to ITC. Would that actually mean, now bear with me on this one, if there is no concept of time and there is such thing as spirit, if we go back in time to let's just say a haunted house, could it mean that our presence in particular time is us as spirit causing that haunting? So then would that actually be us as spirit talking on the spirit box?
That's interesting.
I don't know, but I have heard my own voice come back.
So have I.
That's fascinating.
I have heard these voices we pertain to the spirit use my own voice, and I've seen it from other people as well.
Yeah, I've had my own voice spoke back to me a couple of times on sessions, but it is interesting. It's could it be a possibility? who knows?
Mhm.
I think where spirit's concerned, the possibilities are just endless anyway.
Mm,
Yeah. Anything's
yeah,
possible.
yeah. It,
Yeah,
it, it is an interesting concept.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm just sorting Alfie out. I'm still here.
Yeah, no, I thought you might be sorting. Yeah, it's very, very interesting. Oh, that would be another good topic. Mandela effect for a stream. Lothar 900 finds it. He went, I find this is why people believe in the Mandela effect. Things in the past could have changed and now are different. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's an interesting comment. I believe we can go time traveling while we sleep. Well, I live almost a lifetime at times when I sleep. That's why it can take me at times a little bit longer to wake up than normal because I'm a little bit confused.
Isn't that a trait if you're bipolar though?
I've always had vivid dreams, so I don't really know. I know that they tend to be worse when I go on the maximum dosage of my antidepressant that I take winter time. Then they're a lot more vivid than what they normally are. But I don't know if it's actually a trait of bipolar or not. Don't know. Or I'm just weird anyway.
You are unique and special.
I'm unique. Yes. Okay. Instead of saying word, I'll just say unique.
Unique
Mind
and
you,
precious.
aren't we all unique in our own way?
Yeah. Yeah.
We are indeed.
Well, that's what gives us our individuality.
Yes, it does.
You know,
And it'd be
what is
boring
it?
if we were all the same.
Approximately 17 billion human beings on the planet, and we're all, except for twins, even twins. You know, they're different. Everybody's different, unique in their own like conscious thoughts and mind.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I do too, Barbara. I dream in colour. Oh, now that's one for you for another stream as well. I'm gonna have to keep write all these down. Gail has episodes of sleep paralysis.
Ooh, I don't envy you there. I suffer with that myself.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I've had that a couple of times as well.
I've not had that. Thank goodness. I don't want it from the stories I hear and what the videos that I've watched.
Yeah.
Well, there's a medical side to it, you know, and the side that, you know, other people believe what is actually happening. You know, I'm on the fence.
Yeah.
Kerry said, well, maybe this is really the dream. It's quite possible. Maybe we're all in just some type of let's just say it, matrix.
Yeah, they're starting to say that now, aren't they? We're in some kind of simulation.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I think all they're doing is that, you know, all these scenarios about everything that come out, it's just to hide what we really came from.
True.
Yeah.
Night, Dawn. Take care, hun. Thank you so much for coming. I'll try and drop into you and Brent during one of my silly o'clock wake ups.
Take care, Don.
Bye.
Rick's put an interesting comment here. He went, I think you can visit alternative realities or the multiverse.
That sounds interesting. I'd do that. Mm-hmm.
Lothar 900, paranormal white noise. I can predict when a person dies 3 days in advance. Sort of creeps me out, but it works. My grandmother used to be a precog, and she used to dream of a certain friend dying, and 14 days later they pass, almost to the day. Yep, almost to the day. And it got to the point she was having them quite often, and some of her friends in bingo turned around and said, for God's sake, Jessie, will you stop dreaming stuff? I think because back then my nan was in her 70s, 60, her 70s, early 80s, more late 70s, and yeah, it was a lot. And it was at the bit, all her bingo friends, and I used to work at that in particular bingo hall. And I hear all her mates saying, for God's sake, Jessie, don't have a dream about me. Oh, don't dream about me. And it's like, unfortunately, with a couple of them, that she did dream about them.
And did they pass away, Zara? Yeah.
Pardon?
And did they pass away?
Yes.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yes. Almost 14 days. Yeah.
I feel as if I've been saying the word interesting all night. That's the word of the week.
Yeah.
This has been great. This tonight is fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. And I like to hear everybody's opinions as well, which is good.
It's just something, like I said earlier, I did sort of this section in particular when I used to run another channel's live streams, and it went down so well, and it's something what I've been wanting to do for 3 years. So this is almost, in a way, that for this evening has been 3 years in the process. But this type of live stream and having sort of an hour, 2 hours live stream on a particular subject, I've been wanting to do for at least 6 months. And as I'm feeling sort of a little bit more focused at the moment, I was saying to Glenn, right, I need to get me bottom in gear, as they say, pull my socks up, and
it's only took 3 years.
It's only taken 3 years.
It was worth the wait. It was worth the wait.
Well, I hope it was worth the wait. There's going to be a lot of interesting subjects that are going to come up. And so for anybody that's been in the chat this evening, anybody watching, or anybody watching this back, if there is a subject that you would like us to cover, please do let me know in the comments, because I'm open to suggestions. If it's something that you're interested in, something that you want to get involved in on a particular subject, you'd be more than welcome to come up on the panel. So it's I like it because it's interactive with the chat. It's not just a few people on the panel talking and just occasionally going to the chat. And I really do like the audience participation, what their thoughts are, or something that they would like to do. So, and it's been a while in the making. It's something new for me. And I just hope that everybody enjoys it.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, Lord.
Well, I've had a great time. It's been fabulous.
I like it. I
You
really
like
it.
You like it.
I
So
like it.
what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna put up one quick overlay, and then I think that we can just have a chill afterwards. So the next one is actually going to be final thoughts. So what are your final thoughts on what we've covered this evening?
I like it.
You like it.
Okay. So,
Oh dear.
Well, we
Well,
like Whisperfish.
Yeah.
You know, being in the paranormal, I don't think there's enough people kind of like doing this type of thing. I think you see a lot of streams and a lot of people make it about themselves, whereas particularly me and Zara, we like to interact,
Mhm.
and especially Zara, because Zara's channel is all about trying to teach new people that come into the field the correct terminologies, the correct methodology,
And
you know
following
it's,
me on my journey.
yeah, whatever Zara's learned, she likes to pass that forward to other people. You wouldn't
Mhm.
believe the amount of time that both of us spend behind the scenes conversing with other people. When the camera goes off, it's not just, oh, let's just do the next stream whenever. There's so much involvement behind the scenes with other people in the paranormal field.
Oh, people, there's such lovely things they're saying in the stream, in the chat. Oh, it's so lovely. Yeah, it's sort of my final thoughts on this evening. I think it's been interesting. It's been extremely diverse, and actually giving me a few ideas for topics we can do in the future.
Well, it is the first of the
Many.
series. This is episode 1.
This is episode 1.
So if you would like to help Zara by passing comments, or writing to her, just telling her that something that you would like to cover, and obviously that could be highlighted in a future episode where that person may want to come up on the panel and discuss what they have on their mind.
Yeah, well, there's already been an offer there from Lothar 900. You can always interview me if you want to know anything about Freemasonry, ghosts and spirits and demons and all the interesting stuff. You're more than welcome to have me on.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, that's lovely. It's one of the things that some of you may have noticed when I'm doing my panel streams. Glenn is almost 99% of the time here. He's my right hand man, shall we say, my PA. He's the one that gives me the kick up the backside that I need, to get things in motion so I can stream out to you guys. But one thing that I really like to do is to have people like Joanne, and other people that I've had up on the panel before, and just do these types of talks, because it's people that support people like myself, Glenn, and many of you that are in chat or watching, but they're not a content creator.
Yeah, like take Joanne, for instance. Joanne has been around so many chats and been so supportive of many people Yet nobody has ever said to her, would you like to come up on a panel? You know, and I spoke to Zara about this because we do notice those people, you know, and Joanne's like just a wonderful person.
Joanne is wonderful.
You know, and like I say, she's always supportive of others. So, you know, that's what me and Zara like to do, give those other people that opportunity, you know, to, you know, they give so much. So, you know, give them that opportunity to, you know, evolve themselves, you know, and it might open new doors for them too.
Exactly. And
Because
it's like,
you're lovely, Jojo. You're lovely. I like you.
well,
No,
and
thank
it just
I
well,
used
it
to
just
be
gives that it just gives that, you know, the people that in chat, the people that are, okay, supporters, you know, whatever you wish to call yourselves, those of you that that have got an interest in the paranormal or whatever genre that you've got an interest in, it just gives some of you the opportunity to come up and join us, and instead of just being in the chat all the time, and interact with us on a sort of like a one-to-one level instead of just being in the chat. I'm very much for that. It's sort of, it gets you guys more involved. As I know with some people, as much as they enjoy the chat, they would love to be a part of a subject, a topical subject. And with the Let's Talk series, that's what it's for as well. It gives you guys the chance, if it's a topic that we're discussing and it's something that you might actually be passionate about, it gives you the opportunity to join us and actually discuss that topic that you're passionate about. So that's why it's also good for you guys to sort of, when the stream's finished, down in the comments section, if you want to join in on a Let's Talk, give me the topic that you're passionate about, and I'll be more than happy at some point through the episodes to actually do a Let's Talk on that subject. I think it's just the way of me giving something back to you guys. You know, you've been following me on my journey for the last 3 years, and this is at least something what I can do for you guys to be more interactive. Yeah. And everybody goes silent. Yeah. So you take care, gamer. I'll talk to you around on Dave's or something, and take care of your mouth, okay? I hope the pain goes down soon. Yeah. I don't know if there's anything more really to say. I don't know, Joanne, if you've got any thoughts, or if Glenn, if you've got any more final thoughts.
I
Ladies
loved it.
first.
I like it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It's been fabulous. It really has. Interesting topics and things discussed, and I liked the way people's comments were leading to a different topic for another time, and it just seemed to grow and grow. Just great people. Yep, loved it.
Good.
Oh,
Glenn?
okay.
Oh, come on, something else apart from that.
No, it's been great. Again, you know, I think I said it all just not long ago, where, you know, people are interesting. You know, people should be recognised, you know, for the things they do, for the things they bring forward, especially to the paranormal field. you know, you can call it what you want, but I think that the paranormal field as a whole has become a very selfish place. You know, there was a time not long ago where I was just going to disappear, but I think with everything that I'm doing with Zara right now, you know, it's a way forward. It takes the emphasis on what the paranormal field has become. I just basically think it's imploded on itself through, I'm going to say, drama, greed. You know, it's a sad place to be right now. So I just think that what we do brings a little bit more enjoyment to those people within the paranormal field that do need that escape and somewhere to go that's a better place to be. And I think that's all I've got to say on that, really.
True. I agree with you. It's just that we've got our little bubble of YouTube that we're just doing what we like to do. Some of it's the same, some of it's completely different. But it's just bringing to you guys what we enjoy talking about, what we enjoy doing, and just bringing whatever evidence we get to you guys. What you take from it, as with anything we do, everything is open to interpretation. Nothing is 100%. We will never turn around and say this is fact, this is the way it's done.
Everything in the paranormal is subjective, and it's always open to interpretation of what people
Yes.
believe themselves. You know, everybody's allowed an opinion, whereas when certain people in the paranormal right now are actually questioned about their motives of what could be proof or, you know, what may be, it seems like they're just blocked for having that opinion. You know, an opinion is an opinion. That's all it is. You know, it's not, you know, it's not to be ridiculed by certain people and then people blocked for having that opinion because it questions their narrative. Isn't that what the paranormal is supposed to be about? Being open and honest and trying to find those answers, you know, not to block people because they have a difference of opinion.
We're
You
all
know,
adults at the end of the day, and I think we can, even if it's a subject we might have completely different views on, I think that with a lot of us, we're old enough and adult enough to actually discuss those topics as an adult. And that's something that I like here. Like with you guys in chat, is we can talk about those topics where people do have different views, but everybody is respectful to that person's own belief, or own person's views. That's why I do what I do, not necessarily for me, but for you guys, because I enjoy it. So
yes, Stephen, Zara's on StreamYard.
but I do have Zoom, but I don't use Zoom for streaming.
Yeah, exactly, Lothar. It's you're exactly right there. You know, the thing is nowadays in the paranormal, because everybody's I can't really say anything without, you know, upsetting people, but because people do put their own narrative on things, whether it's faking or situation, whatever it's about, you know, those opinions that people hold are just being lost, you know, and that's not detrimental to the paranormal field because it's supposed to be like an open forum for discussion. And that's the only way things can ever move forward, you know. But a lot of groups have basically stifled the paranormal and it's just imploded on itself, you know. And there's, you know, we like to think that we're one of those getaways again, you know, as I've just mentioned, we're one of those getaways where you can go and you can openly discuss in an adult manner any opinion or topic that's brought forward.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's doing it the adult way.
Yeah, and we just want to bring an environment as if you're down the pub talking with your mates, or you're sitting in your lounge with your girlfriends or your guy friends, and you're just having topical discussions, and so that, you know, just so you're feeling it just gives you a place where you can just relax, you can chill out, you can sort of take part in a box session, or if you wanted a bit of guidance, if I'm doing an angel card reading stream, or if it's something topical like this evening with the Let's Talk series, or even if it's just the coffee and chat stream, just to chill out, have a coffee, have a natter about anything, life. So I try to bring as much as I can.
Diversity.
I like to diverse. Yeah, I like the diversity. It keeps you guys interested. Gives me something to do. And ultimately it just gives you a chance to share my journey on the paranormal, this side, the ITC side, learning from Glenn, from his 30 plus years of experience, and just passing that on to those of you that are interested in learning more about the paranormal. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I don't really think I can say any more. Mm-hmm. I think with the topic this evening, I think it's been a good one to start off with, and I've talked out that much. I've gone completely mind blank now. Exactly, Barbara. Exactly. Yeah. So I think what I'm going to do with that, I will. I can always sort that out, Charlie. Not a problem. Oh, yes, the walks. I haven't done one of them for about a year, Kerry, on my private channel. Might have to do one soon. But I think with saying that, guys, I want to thank every single one of you that has come to the stream tonight, has taken part in Let's Talk Spirit Realm, that have only been here for a short time, that has been here the whole stream. For those of you that are actually have watched this back, I just want to thank every single one of you for taking an interest in the stream's topic, and I actually really do mean that from the bottom of my heart. It means so much to me. And I want to thank Joanne for coming on panel this evening. And I also want to thank Glenn for the help, and just for the help, that everything that you helped me do within the paranormal. And I want to thank also all the mods that have been here and are not here at the moment, for all your help, including you, Joanne. I appreciate it.
I appreciate being here.
So I don't know if you two got any last words before we go.
Just again, thanks again for having us, Zara and Glenn, on the stream. It's been interesting. As I said, I love seeing people's comments, and I'll probably watch back myself because there's a few I've missed, and it's just nice to be somewhere where I belong, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Just, I feel as if I belong, and everybody's just so lovely. Yeah, it's a privilege. I keep saying that every time I come on. I keep saying this is a privilege, and it is. It's great fun. And anybody out there in the chat that are a bit shy or thinking, oh, I'm the shyest person out, I would never have done this time last year. So it's not as bad as what you might think. You'll enjoy it once you get on there. you will enjoy it. So it'd be interesting to see other people coming on the stream, because we're all one. We're all friends, and it's great fun. So thanks again. Thank you.
Not a problem. More than welcome, Joanne. It's always a pleasure. Glenn?
Yeah, I think I've said all I've needed to say. I'm just glad that people recognize the fact that they can, come into your streams, and talk about the subject and, in an adult friendly environment.
Mm-hmm.
I think throughout the paranormal, it's lacking a lot. As I say, opinions have become hate speech. It's as long as everything's kept nice, long may it continue. And we have to thank you as well, Zara, for being the madam in charge.
I do try my best.
But I do thank everyone for supporting you, and I just hope that they've all enjoyed themselves this evening.
And I think with that, all I'm just going to close with is what I say at the end of every video and at the end of every stream. Stay truthful, stay honest, and make sure every single day counts. So with that, you take care, guys, and I'll see you on the next stream or somewhere online. So take care. Love you all. Bye.